the rituals.
Yeah, you have to kind of invest heavily in the rituals. I can't tell you how much money I spent buying rituals.
I like them. They're pretty powerful. There's one where you can like turn an enemy or a creature into your dominated creature.
The last game I played in, I summoned celestial giant celestial hamsters for mounts for everyone.
Corvin.
When I think fast mounts, I don't particularly think hamsters.
They're magic hamsters, okay? Yes.
Corvin, can you restore the magical properties of my shield?
Yeah, sure. He's gonna take one of the claws and trace some kind of symbol into it. Yeah, and the magic hamster. If someone had succeeded, we would have had flying giant celestial hamsters.
Yeah. Regarding this story, we have like a good news and bad news. Bad news is the one guy ran away, so he will like alarm the rest.
I couldn't wait. I was really hoping I could intimidate someone into surrendering the meal, because I won't. He hasn't eaten people in like years, but it's fun to use a threat.
And the good news is, assuming somebody of us has not nature. What is used to track somebody in wilderness, like follow his trail? What's
nature.
Nature? Oh, okay. Sadly, don't have it.
I mean, we have a ranger.
If a ranger doesn't have nature, what the hell are you here for?
Wait, who is ranger? Nito?
Lind is.
Ah, Lind.
The only way a ranger would not have nature is if she was like a urban ranger or something.
I have nature. Pixie.
Very nice.
With my alternate token, I wanted to go for more subtle art when it came to the werewolf thing. I find that it's actually scarier when they're more humanoid looking.
Well, usually things are scarier when it's like with human mind. You know that something scares you because you know how this is supposed to look like, but it doesn't.
Yeah, that's what I was going for, the uncanny valley effect. I like to state this picture because it looks just human enough, but you can tell what's wrong with it. Then that's what makes it inhuman.
Yep. Okay, so most of us, apart from Takaka, are good with healing surges.
I only had to spend a surge. I only had to spend a surge for the fusion. I like the roleplay that my arcane senses are from my nose. Like I can literally smell magic.
That's interesting.
Look, everyone does their eyes. That's boring.
Okay, so we are waiting for Nito and Fartur.
There was a fantasy series like that where everybody's magic smelled different.
Yeah, Yeah, I've read that series.
What's the series called? I might have heard of it.
The Hollow
I
series?
honestly cannot remember what it's called.
I
That's what it was.
remember
Okay.
hearing about that. Yeah, I just never read it.
Yeah, depending on what kind of magic it is, it has a different kind of spell, whether it's like a witch magic or elven magic or...
For me, this was just a pure fluff decision. I used the heightened sense of smell for that werewolves are known for the arcane thing.
Okay, I think we are all ready according to chat. Then
I can't wait to interview this guy.
We should recruit him for the guild.
So, Ben, I rolled the 33 to track them when we get around to that part. If we get around to that part. I think Ben's muted.
Oh, I'm still muted, aren't I? Okay.
Yes.
Well, that was a really good bit of conversation I did right there. It was great. You could have loved it. Okay, so you have captured one of the highway crossbowmen. There are a group of the merchants are in the caravan. They're willing to move, ready to kind of move on. Safe that you've removed the immediate threat, but you still have to pursue these bandits back to their base camp and try.
What we're gonna leave this guy alive to ask questions to him?
Yeah, this guy is he's a bit beaten up, but he's surrendered. He's come to terms with that. And he is
I think
willing to answer some questions from you.
Like how many of them are there?
Yeah. Right, yeah. Okay. Well, there's 10 of us, maybe 12 of us total. I don't know. The people come in and out, of course.
Does it count the ones right now? They attack now.
I count. I guess there's less of us now. I suppose. It's probably about maybe 20 of us total. But well, some of us are away, conducting other business. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Anyone else has questions for him?
well, obviously, where's the camp?
It's deep in the forest, through a winding trail past a lakeside. There's a cave, and we hide out there. Really quite something, actually. I think it's predates us, of course. Carved by some, I don't know, some elder race.
So the next question is, what kind of defenses does the camp have? Traps?
Yeah, well, we've got
walls.
Quite a setup, I must admit. So many, in fact, that we don't travel alone through our own hideout. It's far too dangerous. In fact, only the duelist know how to navigate it safely. Well, the duelist and her, of course. But no, there's a lot of things out there. It's not going to be pleasant if you're going to try and assault it. I wouldn't advise it personally.
Many of us know our way around.
That's what we use him for.
I know my way around traps.
I'm not scared about traps either.
Oh, you would, you fly.
Yep.
Watch out for flypaper, though.
or
Hey!
or one of those lamps, because like you make a moth that flies toward the light.
A bug zapper?
Yeah, really light.
Just because I have moth wings doesn't mean I act like a moth.
Let's hold up a torch and see.
Well, he surrenders, so I'm not especially feeling up for executing a prisoner.
No.
He's...
You won't be killed by our hand.
If your information turns out well, come back to the guild and I'll reward you with some coin and drink.
This offer of genuine pleasantries. He's like, well, I guess if there's a reward in it for me, I can probably tell you a little bit more. I mean,
yes, here. He gives 50 gold.
Whoa, well, sir, I'll tell you a fair bit for that sort of price. There's quite the set of traps set up for you. There's what we like to call the gauntlet. It's a corridor, a long, wide corridor with these pressure plates set up to control a long array of arrow slits that will fire these deadly arrows. They're really rather dangerous. And then beyond that is her great creation, really. She calls it the Hall of Flame. She has a number of arcane wards set up that detonate in burning blue flame. It'd be very impressive if it wasn't so darn scary. Percy does not seem to have any interest in eating a human.
Yeah, you mentioned hair creation.
Yeah. Oh, of course.
Do you know that person? Who is she?
Mishara. She's our leader, I suppose. Say. She's
So she's a mage then?
She's a bard.
Interesting.
Hide that fact, must admit.
Dragonborn too?
No, she's human.
Okay.
She plays a violin that she ignites in flames when she's called into combat. Although she doesn't come out with us on raids anymore.
Whoa.
You know, we could really use a bard back at the guild. You know, one that actually sings.
I've always been a bard storytellers because I'm very bad at coming up with
I played a
songs.
full-on singing bard and like literally sang every session. It got annoying eventually.
I did cymbals once. I carried around a pair of cymbals.
I started writing songs for the sessions, and I was like, no, this is too much. Like,
loving that commitment, though.
Right.
Definitely.
Right.
Well,
So, yeah.
Well,
The crossbowman like extends his hand and is like, "Name's Herbert. Shame we had to meet under such circumstances. You know, I think perhaps we might have gotten along."
However, if it does not pan out, know that I have your scent, and you would likely become my next meal.
Way to set the tone.
Thanks. I'm gonna. Can I get to go now? All right. Well, I'm good.
Well, you want
luck,
to feed into the cat.
I was joking. I know the cat can't eat him. Not yet, anyway.
I haven't eaten people in years. Don't worry.
Percy is just like looking inquisitively towards you guys, like,
Yeah, it's a real shame I can't shrink people, only things.
As I said that to him, I was like, don't worry. I haven't eaten people for years.
that does little to improve his mood. Although it doesn't appear to interest the cat.
Well, I think
Does anyone have anything else?
Yeah,
any more questions for him? Or are you going to tie him up and send him with the caravan?
I have
No.
none.
Let him go with the caravan. He may be available. He may even want to join it. Well, we'll see you at the guild. I hope all goes well with you, son. Make the right decision. in your life, and all will go well.
I wasn't going to let this intimidation go perfectly unwasted. I was just inspiring him to be truthful. Make sure his words are truthful.
So, between an excellent track on the other bolters course and the information that Herbert gave you, you're able to kind of navigate your way through the forest. It's pretty rough going, somewhat. The forest is not well kept, but you realize you're on some path that you fairly regularly, and you've managed to sort of navigate your way around the worst bits of the forest to the point where you make your way down to this stream you were expecting, and you move into sort of like a relatively still, calm lake in the middle of the street, middle of the stream, and under an overhang of rock is a very clear cave entrance. And you step inside, and the cave is, after a small, narrow tunnel, is surprisingly spacious. Have you guys?
Where do you get this art?
Google, man. Always Google.
I know, but it's always good and fun to look at.
If you do fantasy backgrounds on Google. A strange thought occurred to me. It's kind of too much of a coincidence that there's two female bards. I think it's not... we should be more careful. I think we may have divulged too much. And he looks at the cat, and he whispers to the group. I think the female bard, what's her name? Krathia?
Krathia?
Krathia. I think Krathia may be the same bard. I know they're not the same race, but there may be some magic. She may have the upper hand in knowing what we can do. As she's heard tales as we recanted in the tavern.
I don't think they don't have to necessarily be the same person. It's suspicious to be sure, but...
Well, it's just me. I'm just trying to be careful. This is all I can offer.
I appreciate being careful, but I just don't see any logic. Why
should we hire us to take herself out?
Yeah, exactly.
It's like hiring an assassin to try to kill you.
There's been the saying, keep your friends close and your enemies closer.
But Percy just looks up at Nettle and is like, there's just like surprise on his face, and then shakes his head.
It's fine. Percy says they're not the same bard.
Well, it is a familiar, so it's not the same reason that it might lie for it too.
Okay.
Well, we'll get to it now. I'm not exactly proficient with traps, so somebody who is, may he step forward and lead us through that gauntlet.
We have the company of an elf.
Yeah, Lynn's got this.
So, with your passive perception, you walk into what you realize is definitely the arrow gauntlet you described to you previously, as the floor becomes this fairly suspicious tiled setup, and the walls are laced with these arrow slits. Could everyone please roll initiative?
Could it be the prophecy, the Christopher Walken movie?
I would love for one of us to role play with Christopher Walken's voice.
There's this cartoon where this character that was supposed to be Christopher Walken and talking to him, and he was the voice actor for that character.
All right, Lynn, take it away.
All right. So the first thing I want to do is try to. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I'll show you the video. I'll share the video with you after the game.
You can tell you're approaching these pressure plates. The arrow slits are fairly obvious in front of you. What's your plan for getting past them?
Okay, so I would like to try to disable them, if at all possible, for the rest of the party to get through. with my thievery skill, which I have a plus 2 bonus to when I'm disabling.
Sure, go ahead and give me a thievery check. Let me quickly check what the...
Yeah, come on. I clicked that. What the hell? Oh, I clicked the wrong button. Okay, so it's looking like it's going to be plus 2, 26.
Nice. Okay, so you make your way to the edge of this room, sort of gently clambering around the pressure plates, trying to avoid setting them off. And you start disassembling some of these arrow traps. You start to pick out which one of the slits actually have traps behind them, and you do some work on disassembling the first couple of sets. But you realize that as you reach kind of the middle, like the first, sort of second third of the room, that you're not going to be able to reach any more of the traps without setting off pressure plates for some of the others. So you've cleared some of the way through, but there's still quite a bit of the room to get past, and you're going to need to take a different tact to move on. Fatur, what's your plan for?
Well, there's some stalactites on the ceiling. Might as well try to use them to set off these traps. So, yeah. So there's pressure plates on the ground. He's gonna throw his weapon and knock these stalactites down onto the ground.
Sure.
And this should be a +2.
Give me, like, I guess, athletics or anything. Seems fine.
So 19.
Okay, so you like go to hurl your hammer. I want to say sword. Oh no, you hurl your weapon up at some of these stalactites, and you bring a couple of them down, and they clatter onto the floor, and the pressure plates set off, and arrows sail past you. But then, as you go to move the next, you have to dodge out of the way of another stalactite that's fallen almost upon you. And you step onto one of the pressure plates that hasn't been set off. You have a moment to protect yourself. You can either allow the incoming arrows to hit your leg or to hit your arm. Which would you choose?
Legs.
Okay, so the arrow clatters into you, and it cuts into the side of your leg, and it kind of sits there, and even as you remove it, you can tell you've caused a pretty nasty wound to yourself. You're at -1 speed for the rest of the adventure.
If anything, I'd say about it.
But you've cleared a fair bit more of the gauntlet. Attack. What's your plan?
All right, I'm going to use Dungeoneering in order to, I guess, maybe help point out traps.
Sure, you want to like identify where they've been placed, and
maybe help Lind
work out which of these tiles are actually pressure plates and which aren't. Right. Sure, that seems fine. Okay, so you do a decent job of identifying some of these traps, and as you're like looking out over some of the last bits of this entire area. You realize that some of the pressure plates are not linked to the arrow slits in front of them, but actually behind them. Right? And as you lead the party around, you identify a pressure plate in front, but you fail to notice that one of them is going to set off one that's directly in front of you. And you also have a moment to choose whether you're going to get hit in the leg or in the arm as an arrow sails over in a volley towards you.
Can I choose which arm?
Yeah, I guess so.
I take it in one of my lower arms.
Okay. So the arrow like slams into the side of you, and your arm starts to bleed horrendously. You think it's hit whether your equivalent of a vein is, and even as you perform some basic first aid on the wound, you realize this is going to be a consistent problem that you're not going to be able to deal with in the sort of short time you have here. You have ongoing too.
Just how long?
End of adventure.
Oh god.
Now, Hazard, there's only one small piece of the room left.
Is it possible for me to use the same skill as Fartur? Because I'm a warrior.
Sure.
I saw what he did,
Yeah.
so I'm like, yeah, I can do that. I can use my muscles to rip one of the rock pieces and then throw it, or somehow otherwise set it off.
Okay.
Okay, so
Yeah, sure. You're
athletics.
Nice. Okay, so you're just like wielding this stalactite. You just clatter it into the pressure plates, and arrows sail around across you. But you manage to set off almost all of the traps at the point where you can make a safe, almost like a pathway of stalagmites and stuff on the ground, and the party's able to progress through. As you step
Well done.
out of the gauntlet room, the path winds a little, and then as you step into a smaller chamber, you kind of take a few steps forward, and you hear a singular note just rain out, like,
Oh crap!
and then there's a pause. Nettle, you have a split second. What do you do upon hearing the note?
Well, we're dealing with a bard, so I guess try to mimic it.
Okay. I will give you I'll give you like diplomacy maybe for like, there isn't a performance skill, and I think like diplomacy is the closest we have. I would also accept like perception from mimicking the note perfectly. That would be.
I'll go for, well, my diplomacy and bluff are the same, so either of them perhaps.
Yeah, one of those is fun.
Not my best, but I've got a decent-ish chance. Really wish my turn had been in the room I could fly over.
Okay,
Oops.
so you.
Why did I okay, anyway, that roll should be fine.
25
Okay, so you try and make a sort of matching note. You notice a set of runes around the outside of them that glowed blue as the note came out. They begin to shimmer a slight green, and then midway through the note, they turn red. But you realize that in that brief period of time, you managed to scutter forwards through this room. As your arcane sense is immediately telling there's something about to go on. And you get to like the other side in the air just as a huge wall of blue flame rushes upwards from the ground, engulfing almost the entire room. And thankfully, the party is far enough back and you're far enough ahead that it doesn't engulf anyone, but the fire then sets down.
Wow, I never thought for a day I'd wish I'd taken Fire Elementalist.
And then, Corvin, the same note echoes out.
I will try to replicate my arcane senses to basically try to mimic it.
Okay. Give me an Arcana check. All right. You immediately recognize that this is a little bit different to an idea to straight mimic. It's sort of like a call response. It's clear from Nettle's attempt that the start of the response is the same note, but it's obvious that you need to deviate in some way from that.
It's a song.
You equally manage to keep the flames at bay for a short enough period of time that you can just about break through the room and avoid getting blasted. But there's still something of a puzzle to be worked out here. Lynn, what's your plan?
Assuming I got across her.
Yeah, you managed to get across it. And please tell me, what is your plan?
Did you mute yourself, Lynn?
Are you muted? Have you checked you're connected to Discord?
That macro is so obnoxious.
That's true. That's so great. Like,
it's great, but it didn't need to be repeated 10 times.
I did mute myself.
There we go.
All right. So I would like to kind of acrobatics my way across without trying not to trigger things.
Okay, so you're just gonna try and evade this
Okay.
wall of fire as it like steps up. Is that the plan?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I'll accept that. Give me a correct check.
I'm going to. Can I use a power to re-roll that?
Yeah, certainly. If you have like
21.
Sure. Okay. 21 is enough to succeed. So you look,
Right,
having seen. You can't reroll an attack roll. That's not an attack roll. So you've worked out from the last couple of blasts of flame that while the flame is very heavy on the floor levels, it's
Yeah,
actually
I know. I
relatively
just
light
realized that. I was
when you
clicking
move
it to
along
see,
the
honestly.
walls. So you break into a sort of short sprint, then you kind of wall run around the outside of the room, clambering up over stonework. And as the hum echoes out and the flames rush up, you sort of leap out of the way as they sort of clip the bottom of you, of like your trousers or whatever you're wearing. And you kind of land in a roll as the flames ignite up behind you, and you find yourself safely on the other side. Farter, what's your plan for progressing through the Hall of Flame?
Father saying,